How to overseed your lawn in under 5 minutes. I'm Mr. Ferguson here from Central North Carolina. We're going to be doing that very thing in my lawn in just a couple weeks. So let's talk about how to overseed your lawn quickly in under 5 minutes. So number one, you want to start by mowing your lawn shorter than you typically would for tall fescue. This is totally determined on you how low you want to go, but what we want to do is lower the existing lawn, which I've already done because we've had lots of rain here at my lawn. I've done this in preparation for a future overseeding, but we want to go down somewhere around 2 inches. You can go as far as 1.75 inches if you'd like. And the purpose of why you're doing this is to get good seed to soil contact. We don't want that seed setting on the grass blades of the existing lawn. We want it to get down in the dirt. So you want to put your bag on the back of your mower if you're able to do that, and collect the clippings and dump that off somewhere. We don't want the clippings also to be able to have the seed setting on top of that, seed to soil contact. So that's step number one. Number two, you want to rake in some of these areas. Maybe you have some bare areas. We want to rake that in. And so some people choose, like myself, to use a dethatcher, or you can use just a manual rake if you don't have a dethatching machine. We have areas here in Central North Carolina where my lawn has had die-off from either me messing that area up with applications, with water setting and the sun hitting these spots, and we have dead grass. We don't want that dead grass there when we throw our seed out. Again, we want the seed to set on the soil. So we either want to rake these areas really well to get rid of that dead grass, or run your dethatcher in these areas to clear it out so that the dirt and the soil is exposed. Number three, we want to distribute our seed into the lawn. Now, some people may choose to aerate the lawn like I am going to do here this fall. I'm going to be doing an aeration to loosen and reduce compaction in my soil. If you don't do that, you want to now distribute the seed. I formerly have used Scott's spreaders. I haven't been too pleased in those. I upgraded what I consider an upgrade to an earthway spreader for the 8,000 so square feet of my lawn. Depending on the size of your lawn, depending on if you're spot seeding or doing a large area, will determine how you want to distribute this seed. But you want to evenly distribute based on what the bag rate is. If you've got bare areas, that rate may be a little bit higher. If you have areas with grass already there, that rate may be a little bit lower. So distribute your seed. And again, you may want to come over some of the areas for step number 4, and you may want to put something down like straw, which I don't really recommend, or peat moss. I prefer peat moss because when I've used straw in the past, you can have weed seeds inside of straw. I was just talking to someone at my church today about this, and I choose to go with peat moss. Peat moss is popular for overseeding because when we lay this over the ground, and it is messy, it can get very dirty, but when we put this over top of our seed, it does help retain moisture longer, and it keeps the seed a little moist a little longer than being fully exposed to the sun and drying out. Not something you absolutely have to do, but it can reduce in birds eating the seed and other things like that, and it can keep it moist if you can't water all the time. And going into our final step, the last step, which a lot of homeowners really neglect after throwing out seed, which is to water, water, water. Very important to try to keep the seed moist as often as possible until germination takes effect. For tall fescue or turf type tall fescue, we know that germination rate is typically around 7 to 10 days. Sometimes it can go way faster. Sometimes it can take a little bit longer depending on what your ground temperatures and what's going on. We can have washout. There's many different things that can determine germination rate. So what we want to do is make sure that we're keeping it moist. Now that doesn't mean you have to soak down the area with water, but keep it moist. You want to run it through your lawns, make sure it's staying. And if you have peat moss areas, it's definitely going to help those areas to stay wet a little bit longer. So this is how to overseed your lawn in 5 minutes. I hope this has been helpful for some that may not have ever overseeded, but this is going to give you a lush, green, thick fescue lawn in fall, which is the proper time to seed. God bless you. I'm Mr. Ferguson. We'll see you next time.